Hello again, friends, and welcome back to Express Lane. Before we get into our next run, I do have one quick little announcement, and that is GDQX will be live from TwitchCon October 20th through the 22nd. The event will take place on the Games Done Quick stage, as well as streamed live on our Twitch channel, which, FYI, it's this channel right here. Use !GDQX in Twitch chat to find out more info and check out the schedule. That schedule is amazing, and y'all are going to love it. In the meantime, we have a game that might feature a certain creature that our certain wonderful producer, Railcoon, might be certainly obsessed with. Also, give some love and chat to our wonderful producers for Hotfix, Railcoon, for sure, and Richard. Anywho, it is TUNIC, run by Radicoon. So, Brad, take it away.
Hello. Hello. Thank you for having me. I'm Rad, and I'll be running TUNIC, which, if you don't know, is an isometric action-adventure game about a tiny fox in a big world where you explore the wilderness, fight monsters, and find secrets. Today, I will be joined by my commentator, Silent. Hello, Silent.
Hello, I'm Silent. I also speedrun this game and work on the randomizer.
Yeah, Silent's being modest. He originated the randomizer, and it's amazing. We're going to be running any % unrestricted, which means we're going to hit new game, try to roll credits as fast as we can. And we're allowed to do anything within reason, major glitches, minor glitches, routing, etc. Before we get started, I just want to say this is crazy that I'm even here. Like, hello, this is GDQ. I've been watching for years and years. Never thought I would speedrun. Never thought I'd be affiliated with this in any way. So, like, I just have to acknowledge that. Wild. Thank you for having me. But more importantly to the audience, this game is spoiler heavy. Like, you can only kind of play TUNIC once and get that first play experience. This is like Outer Wilds, Return of the Obra Dinn, Case of the Golden Idol, Fez. So if you have it on your backlog and you're just dying to make sure you're not spoiled, like, maybe half pay attention. I don't know why I picked a game to get like enamored with that I basically can't talk about when I try to sell the speed game. But, you know, if that matters to you, that's your last warning. But otherwise, if you don't mind the spoilers for a game that's been out for like 18 months, then sit back, relax, and we're going to put on a good show for you. I guess that's what I have to say. So I'll let y'all fight over who gives you the countdown, and then we'll get underway.
I'd say someone that's been enjoying GDQ for as much as they have should be the one that gives the countdown.
Me? Okay, all right. I'll do it. Okay. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Silent, I have a question. Why did the fox cross the road?
I don't know. Why did the fox
That's
cross the
right,
road?
to get the chicken on the other side, of course. Yeah, this game is about learning, and you know, since we've played the game before, we kind of know things that you could do all along, and so that's going to make the game faster. But because this is the unrestricted category, of course, you know there's going to be some major glitches, and that's one of the reasons we're diverting to, that's right, the stick immediately. Silent, can you explain why I'm getting the stick in this route?
Yeah, so that joke at the start of the run was to distract you from him getting some bombs, which he's actually going to use to break these bushes, which is a little sequence break on its own, but doesn't really compare to what he's about to do with the stick, which is a glitch called ladder storage. If you swing the stick and climb the ladder at the same time, there's a very small window you can roll out of that animation and regain movement, and the game kind of still thinks that you're on the ladder, so things like gravity and collision don't apply, so he's kind of just running through midair right now.
Whee!
And we're essentially going to use that to skip the whole intro section and go straight to the Ruin de Toll.
Yeah, you do have to
he's gonna
quit
do a
out
little
between
saving-
scenes,
yeah.
so that's important. Otherwise, the game's like, you're just permanently on a ladder now, so.
Yeah, you kind of just get stuck and can't really go anywhere. So he's going to do a little ledge clip here to get off of this staircase, hopefully.
There we go.
There we go.
Yes.
He's going to raise this ladder, and then we're going to do yet another ladder storage to go up into the Frog's Domain.
All right. Yeah, and ladder
So one thing
storage.
about
Oh, go ahead. Go
ladders-
ahead.
oh.
You can handle
One
this.
thing about it is that when you're in ladder storage, you can still gain elevation by going up ramps, but you can't ever really go back down. So he used those little ramps there to his advantage to get up in here.
You know, one thing
Yeah.
I want to... Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. No,
One thing
it's
I do want to
absolutely
point out to
fine.
people watching that have played Tunic, they're probably wondering, so that fox is not normally that color. Silent, do you want to mention something that, some cool little witchcraft you've put together?
Yeah, so normally in the game there is like a secret room you can change parts of the colors of the fox. I actually made like a little mod for Rad just so he could kind of do that quickly from the main menu before he started the run. So we've got a little custom fox color going on, which is very cool. So we're now in Frog's domain, and we're going to basically just skip the entire area by doing another ladder storage to kind of clip through these railings here. Now, one of the other ways to cancel out of ladder storage besides going through a load zone is to take damage, and there just conveniently happens to be a wizard here that can damage us in midair to kind of knock us to the floor below, and we're going to pick up that item and then do a death warp out of here.
Yeah, this is the first time, the first time you die in the game, you're sent to this area called Resurrection, but if you have a bomb equipped when you go in, you can just throw the bomb and like die out of death scene. It's convenient.
Sounds logical.
Yeah, it saves about like 20, 30 seconds or so.
Yeah. You realize how long it is when you forget to equip a bomb, and then you're like, oop, run over.
Yeah. So immediately he's going to do another ladder storage. We're going to go straight to West Garden. A lot of the times the like load zones kind of conveniently line up with like the ladders, but in this case he can just use that turret. It kind of takes a couple seconds, but it conveniently just shoots us right when we're over that little ledge there. We can just get knocked out of that ladder state.
All right, sword incoming. Oops.
Yeah, we still only have a stick, and if you've played this game and found this, you might be wondering, like, you may have wondered casually why the sword was here, but the developers put this sword behind this little secret door specifically for speedrunners, and basically every category uses that sword. They never even get it from the intended spot, so they couldn't have picked a better spot.
Oh, this is Terry. Say hello to Terry.
Hi, Terry.
There's a code in the game to put sunglasses on, and then I think Terry is the only enemy in the game where if you use the sunglasses code near him, he also gets sunglasses, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we love Terry.
Oh, Terry, why?
Uh-oh.
That's okay.
All right, we're good.
He got eager. He was like, "Oh, we're on GDQ, let's go." But we're fine. We're fine. We actually usually want to damage down there. I usually don't because that's scary for marathon safety. But Terry was like, "I'll oblige, no problem." So we got the ice dagger. Woo! Quick death warp here, and then we'll be back on our way. Silent, I have an important question. What do you call a fox with a PhD? A scientist.
Oh,
yeah.
Love
Okay.
it. It's
Okay.
delicious.
All right. Yep. Speaking of delicious, what do you think the fox's favorite drink at Starbucks is? A Frappuccino. Okay.
I
Anyway,
was not primed on any of
Yes.
these, so we are sharing this agony together.
it's how I intended it.
Congrats, you're stuck
All right.
with a showrunner that loves puns, so keep 'em coming.
So we're heading into Dark Tomb. You usually need a lantern to get through this area. We're gonna do it without one. Well, we'll see. Maybe we'll do it without one.
Yeah, there's a couple ways to do this room. There actually is a strat with ladder storage, but it's a little finicky. So I think he's just going to do the older strat, which is just kind of run through without being able to see, but you kind of just feel your way. He's got to hit 2 of these switches without being able to see where he is, and then we're only in here for this one chest, so we don't actually have to go any further. But this is going to give us an item called the Orange Peril Ring, which if we have it equipped and our health is at 20% or lower, will do double damage. So it's going to be very useful for some boss fights later on.
Yeah, that's basically the no major glitches route. Ladder storage is considered a major glitch. We kind of split categories on that. So I like no major glitches. Oh, hello. Thank you. I'd like the wand, please. And with that, I think we have all of our major items. And so we're kind of on boss rush now.
Yep. You may notice that the fox is kind of like sparkling blue. 2 of the items that we picked up, the fire wand and the ice dagger, when the game first launched, you can kind of use them together to do like a little ice combo move. And when the game first came out, it only costed like 1 bit of magic, and the developers realized that it was a little overpowered. It became very critical in speedruns. So they eventually did patch it to cost more magic, but they added in like a little secret code that we could type in to reduce the cost back to what it was pre-patch. And the indicator for having that code is these little blue sparkles. So if you ever see that, that's what's going on there.
I call it magic dandruff.
Yep. But the reason that the ice is so powerful, is we're about to find out, is that the grapple item we picked up earlier lets you kind of pull enemies towards you, but if an enemy is frozen, you get pulled towards them instead. So we're in the quarry now, and he's essentially going to skip this entire area by pulling an enemy off the ledge and then freezing them in midair, and then pulling himself to them in midair to kind of drop himself to the ground below.
It sounds complicated, but it's like the first thing I learned in this game. And it's very easy to execute casually. And that's Corey. Silent, I have an important question. If this fox went to a job interview, what do you think they should say is their most important or best quality? What's their best feature? That's right, attention to detail. That's right. That's right.
I'm not going to be able to answer any of these.
That's fine.
So
yeah, that's
whatever
fine.
else you have, it's.
Look, Tunic is all about learning. We can learn together. In fact, let's learn how to clip off this elevator. Goodbye, elevator.
Yep.
What? What? Wait.
Yeah, that's so the effigy has a special animation. We use the effigy to kind of kick the fox just slightly off the elevator. Then the ice rod, or using ice beam and the dagger at the same time, or no, the wand and the dagger at the same time to do an ice beam, actually cancels animations. And so then we use it to propel the fox just south a little bit, and we fall, and it looks awesome. It almost looks intended. Like, it looks so good that it looks intended.
The elevator used to kind of be like the chill spot, because this whole area is very stressful. So it kind of used to be like 10, 20 seconds. You just kind of relax, before the storm. But now we just we don't get that opportunity. He left one of those fairies alive because he's going to do another ladder surge here. He's going to kind of hover himself above this kind of open gap here, and he's going to just intentionally wait for the fairy to shoot him.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Okay. That looked weird.
So
it's fine.
Yeah, that was a little scary. Normally you're supposed to go into that tower, and it's kind of like a really long auto scroller. There's another elevator, a lot of like lore in that room, but there's actually a hidden load zone kind of floating down there, because there are other ways to clip off, but the developers kind of put that there as a way to skip that whole section. So
this game the speed game is really, really fragile. So normally if you were going through PB attempts, you would not save in this area at all, and you'd be at like 1 health, and anything could kill you. So of course we're being like a little safe, but when you would do that in a PB attempt, in an earlier room, you could do a wrong warp. It's the only wrong warp we found in the game that works. But unfortunately, while it does save, it's like pretty viable in game time. It makes absolutely no sense RTA, so we're just gonna do it the normal way. And the normal way is not easy either, but it at least makes a little bit of sense.
yeah, the wrong warp is like frame perfect. This game is run at 120 FPS, so it's like you could get it first try and save like a minute, or you could sit there for 5 minutes and.
So you don't actually have to fight this mini boss. You just have to power that fuse, and if you freeze both administrators, you have plenty of time to power the fuse, get out of the way, and be on your way. Okay, so this is kind of like a big story reveal for those of you who've played Tunic. It gets a little creepy right here. Silent, what would you say, like, knowing the lore of this game that's revealed right here, what would you say the genre is? What does this add to the game? I think it's a little sci-fi,
Okay.
Oh, man.
All right, so you may be familiar with the cheese that we do for this next boss, but since we can save here, and we have all of our magic in the marathon safe route, we get to do something a little special. Let's see if I can do this right. Okay, anyway, that was the scav.
Well then.
Sorry to everybody that had a lot of trouble with that boss. That's it.
Yeah, when enemies are frozen and you grapple onto them, it not only like drags you to them, but they get pushed back a little bit. So just kind of like, you know, push them off the ledge.
So yeah, normally you would just like death warp right after that scene, and you would save the time from having to warp back. But when you're learning casually, do not be afraid to save in Ziggurat. It is it doesn't add like a ton of time, and you can very easily rat it out when you get better. Silent, what do you call a fox at the beach?
Oh, jeez.
That's right, lost.
Okay. Oh, man.
Oh, okay, all right.
Ooh.
That was pretty unexpected. We'll be fine, we'll be fine. All right.
Yes.
As long as that ice rod didn't cancel the fuse, which happens sometimes, we should be good. And now we get to do all the other three in a pretty weird order. Silent, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so we're back at Ruined Atoll, which is where we were at the start, but we're kind of doing what you're intended to do here, which is activate these 4 fuses. He did the first one, and then he did a ladder storage to kind of get over to that without kind of having to go all the way around. But metallic objects will bounce like those fire wand shots that we do, so he can kind of run over to it and then use that to kind of hit himself off of the fuse. And since he takes damage, he'll cancel that ladder state, and we can activate the fuse. He's going to activate this one and then do that kind of same thing from this ladder here to go all the way to the other corner on the other side.
And if that sounds complicated, it actually is. Most of the things in this game are not that hard to pick up, but this little combination of things, I like. Some runners use keyboard controls, some use like the back paddles on, like an Xbox Elite controller or an 8BitDo, something like that. Okay. But
what do you use?
What makes that particularly tricky is that you have to like hold the run button while you're like getting in place, swinging the sword and shooting the fire wand. So you have to like press like 4 different buttons at the same time. It's a little awkward.
And it doesn't say, like, if you want to learn 2 fuses at a time, like most other categories, it is maybe 2 seconds slower on average. It's not that bad. I'm going to try and take a bite here. Okay, we're good. So we went out of the way earlier to get extra ice bombs, which is not common in like a PB attempt. And that's because a trick coming up requires an ice bomb. I'll let Silent talk about that after it happens. Dude, those table legs every time. Yeah, so we've got a few attempts. Like, hopefully I'll get it first try, but if this is probably the most fragile part of the run when you're playing offline, because if you mess up, like, there's really nowhere else to go get ice bombs, and your run's kind of over. So I'll try my best. Silent, what is this fox's favorite web browser?
Oh no.
Firefox.
No, he's actually more of a Brave boy.
Okay.
Okay, that was good.
Anyway, this is the librarian. He did ladder storage off of that top ladder and then kind of moved left and bounced an ice bomb off of the corner, which bounces just high enough to aggravate the boss. And then one of the other properties of ladder storage is that if you ever stop moving, it'll teleport you back to the ladder. And we use that to our advantage to get to the ladder and then climb below where the death plane spawns, just in time for before the boss will actually like start the fight. So we're below the death plane, he's above. He tries to come hit us, and he gets wiped out. So pretty textbook fight, would you say?
Wait, that was the boss?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What?
That was a boss.
Also, I heard your textbook pun. I'm on to you.
That's
There can only be one. All right, so at this point, we're basically just... I did shoot those bushes on purpose, but we're changing our save point, to the overworld main save, just so we can kind of death warp back here instead. Got a little bit more business to do. We're 2 bosses down, 1 to go. This is like a needless optimization that saves just a couple seconds overtaking the shortcut, but that's fine. And we're going to damage down with the blobs here and then be on our way. Okay, good. You have no idea how many times that freaks me out because they've killed me like a couple times ever. And one of those times was in practice maybe like 2 hours ago. So it's fine. Yeah, so normally you have to go through a cave and do some other stuff, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to use digital movement here just to make sure I'm aiming correctly. Don't get memed. All right, sometimes those pots just like roll out. Like there's a little bit of weird collision with those pots. So sometimes when you go in the room, they're kind of RNG. They'll fly in front of your grapple and you'll grapple the pot instead. Anyway, yeah, we just clipped through the sealed door. So we're into the boss fight now without doing either like the beginning or the end of the dungeon. Do you want to explain this fight? Silent?
Yeah, so we're actually not really abusing any glitches for this fight, but the reason he damaged on those slimes earlier was to activate that orange pearl ring. So he's basically doing double damage and double, like, poise knockback to the boss. So we can essentially just stun lock it for, the entire duration of the fight. And this is at, like, base attack. We're not even, we never upgrade our stats in this fight, so...
Volume warning, a little bit.
Yeah.
I think this run's going really well. I won't let it go to my head, though. Oh, maybe a little bit. Oh, key.
Ooh.
Okay, we're good. Okay. Silent, there's a hot new gadget coming out this week. What do you think the fox is excited for? That's right, it's the Slyphone 15.
Okay, how many of these jokes have Sly in them? Because,
Dude, he's been saving up. Let him have something. I forgot the speedrunner code again. I'm cursed. Okay. I'll let you take this one.
Sure. So we're going to place those keys that we gathered in this temple. Definitely not the Temple of Time. This isn't a Zelda game. This is more like, I would say, Dark Souls, maybe. But we're going to use this slime here to... we're going to freeze him and then clip through the door. And then we're going to run in, place these 3 keys. He's going to do a little bit of a weird technique to kind of skip these cutscenes. And then we'll be on our way to the final boss fight.
What just happened there?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. This game is weird.
Yeah, probably some sort of secret. I wouldn't worry about it.
All I know is with all these slide puns, I'm still trying to recuperate them or from them.
Okay. I kind of don't want a big head at this point. All right, we'll be cautious because this part is like try once. Oh, so that's why we burned those bushes earlier, because you have to run through that space to not aggro anybody.
That one Rudling still had a big head, but the other ones didn't.
Yeah.
That was kind of weird. I've never seen that before.
Look, some people get there faster than others. All right. Oh, not close enough. Okay.
Ooh. Nice. That is a frame-perfect cutscene skip to skip like a 20-second cutscene at the start of this fight.
Oh, wow.
So that happens at the end of the run and is like basically required, so it can be very stressful if you actually end up getting it. But this is the final boss. If you've played it casually, you're kind of intended to not win this fight, so much so that if you have the no fail mode on, it ignores that option entirely. But we can still win it by just keeping the boss in an endless, freeze, stun lock. It's a lot more stressful than it looks because he has to constantly menu to use those berries that we picked up earlier to regain his magic. And when you freeze the boss, they only stay frozen for maybe a couple seconds, so it can be very tight menuing and precise inputs, but I think he's got it.
We'll see. This is definitely where the nerves ramp up. Silent, I have one more important question. You ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
What is a fox's favorite herb?
What?
Thyme.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Oscar, Silent, thank you so much for having me. Shout outs to Dicey, who's in chat, I see. Shout outs to me, who like 6 months into running this game didn't realize that Dicey was just like the last 4 letters of his name. Not a big deal. Shout outs to TUNIC team for making such an amazing game. Of course, the TUNIC speedrunning community is amazing. Thank you to mods, verifiers. We've got the French duo, Heiken and Evander, the Japanese duo, Magic Lava and SCRB, and even some new runners recently, Toxie, Grace, Sept, and Jabber. We try to keep the community pretty inclusive and fun focused. So like, you know, I've been part of a lot of speedrun communities and they're on a spectrum of competitive to fun, and we try to lean a little bit more in the fun direction. We have 5 main categories and 3 rule sets that span everything from this, where you use like constant glitches, to glitchless, and even some restrictions from like in-game mechanics to keep the routing a little bit more casual focused. We have a really cool website. I say that like I didn't make it, but I think it's a cool website. It's tunic.run, has lots of guides, including a guide to this particular category and rule set combination. And then we also have a website for the randomizer, rando.tunic.run. And Silent has played a pretty big role in making that, so shout outs to him. I come from a community of speedrunners called Fast as Furs. It's like an intersection of the furry community and speedrunning. And we were actually going to put on a TUNIC showcase October 29th, where we're going to get deep into lots of different categories and rule sets. So that should be an exciting time if you want to see more TUNIC speedrunning. I guess look up Fast as Furs. They also have a marathon benefiting Trans Lifeline on November 10th through the 12th. And I will be assisting with that as well as a volunteer. So GDQ, I know y'all have rated us a few times, so we're appreciative. And I've been very lucky to be a part of that and to like grow in this speedrunning community through that organization. So shout outs to them. Thank you so much. And yeah, this went pretty well. So thank you for having me. It has been a pleasure, an honor. And I'll Silent, what do you want to say?
I mean, I don't have much else to add, but I'll take one more opportunity to plug the TUNIC randomizer. If you're interested in this game, but maybe speedrunning isn't your thing, I would definitely check that out. We've recently added support for Archipelago Multiworlds, so if that's your thing, I would check that out. It's a great time. But other than that, I mean, thanks for inviting me, Red, and thank you, GDQ, for having us on.
Yeah, for sure.
And seriously, give GG's one more time for that amazing run and all those puns of damage. That was absolutely fantastic. Like, absolutely, just you crushed your estimate with a 2152. So
yeah,
very nicely done.
Look, this game is fragile. Like, do not take this. Like, if you practice this game and try to play it, you're gonna fail a lot. It is tough. It's short, but it's tough. And the lots could have gone wrong. We just got really lucky, and I'm very thankful for that. So, heck yeah.
I mean, but looking at the real Fox, though, the time is, you did pretty good.
Oh, I'm happy. Yes, I'm happy.
But with that, everybody, take a deep breath, embrace those puns, and channel those puns. And we'll be right back with going from a super cute and awesome fox to airports and dogs and aliens. Stick around, we'll be right back.